Hi everybody, it's Cyclone. Today we're gonna make a tier list of every major tennis brand. Let's go. So we're doing only racket manufacturer, but we can do a future tier list with also string brand that could be cool also. So for today, we're gonna have the S tier, the A tier, the B tier, the C tier, and the D tier. I want to put only one brand to the S tier, so stay up until the end of the video because we're gonna put the final one on the S tier. So let's go. We have Solinco. I've tried some whole Solinco, but I haven't tried the blackout and the whiteout yet. But one thing that I like with this brand is the fact that they have an extended version, they have an 18x20 version, they have pretty much every version of their racket, so it's pretty cool. But because I haven't tried those rackets yet, I can't really say if they're cool or not, so for this reason I will put Solinco in the B tier. So here you go. Next one, we have Technifibre, or like we say in French, Technifibre. Technifibre is a really cool brand and it doesn't get a lot of recognition, even though they have Medvedev, they have Swiatek, but yeah, I feel like people doesn't seem to care really about this brand, but it's a pretty cool brand and I highly recommend to try their racket if you haven't. But yeah, I really like their racket. I haven't tried all their catalog, but the one that I've tried, they were really cool racket, really high quality racket also. So Technifibre would go in the A tier for me. Next one, we have a big brand, Yonex. I feel like Yonex is getting like bigger and bigger and bigger, and I remember like back in, I don't know, like 5 years ago, I wasn't really a big fan of Yonex, but like, you know, it started to grow on me. Like I like their racket, and pretty much every racket that they're making are good. So yeah, it's a cool brand. I know that a lot of you like Yonex. So yeah, probably going to be a tier. Next one, Prince. Okay, so Prince were really popular back then. The main thing was the fact that it was their good racket were extended. Now it's not, you know, a trend anymore. Yeah, Prince would go in C tier for the moment, but maybe, you know, it's in between the C and the D tier. I don't really like what they're doing with the twist power and all those kind of prototype racket. Yeah, not a big fan. Next on, we have Wilson. I really like Wilson. Not the biggest fan of the paradigm bending technology, but their line of racket are really solid. I just don't get the whole thing that they have. You know, they had the Burn, they had the Clash, they had the Ultra. They're kind of similar. I know that the stiffness is not the same, but like for me, it's the only thing that for me is not really clear. They also have good line for people that are struggling to have power and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty cool brand. So for the moment, it's going to be in the A tier, and we're gonna see if Wilson's gonna go to the S tier later in the video. Next on, we have Dunlop. Dunlop is not a bad tennis brand. I just don't like the thing that they did, like with the FX Lite that is blue like the Pure Drive and the Ultra, the SX that is yellow like the Aero, and the CX that is red. I don't know, I know that a lot of brands are doing this, but for Dunlop, it doesn't seem right, you know? So yeah, stiff racket, but okay racket, so I would say it's going into the B tier, but in between C and B. Next on, we have Artengo. Artengo is the tennis brand from the big sports shop called Decathlon. I've tried a couple of their racket, but not like really a lot. They're okay, they're pretty cheap. Okay, so if you're seeking for a good racket that is at a cheap price, you gotta go with this one. As a stringer, I hate to string Artengo racket, they're always breaking. So for this reason, I would go with the C, but I would love to try the Gael Monfils one. So it's the TR950 Tour Control, whatever the name is. But yeah, I would love to try this racket, but the rest are pretty average to below average. Next on we have Head. Head is one of my favorite brand, but I don't like the thing, they have too many rackets at the moment. I would love Head to come back a bit to, I don't know, a control line, a spin line, in between a power line, and maybe like the power like they're doing. But yeah, it's too many for the moment, and I feel like it's tough to find a perfect racket at the moment because you have to try so many rackets, and I feel like, yeah, it's not the best thing. I really like the Exotic technology though, so yeah, for sure it's in A tier, maybe in S tier later. Next on we have the American brand, I think it's American, but Diadem. I haven't tried their racket yet, but I would love to, especially the Diadem Elevate Tour. One of you guys told me in the comment section that the Diadem Elevate Tour is a bit like a blade, so since then I'm hyped up for this racket. I would love to try this one, so probably going into the B tier because I haven't tried the racket, just like Selling Coast, so yeah, B tier. Next on, Volkl. Volkl, I've tried pretty much every of the racket, so it's gonna be pretty accurate. Yeah, it has to be a solid A tier because you have pretty much everything. Yes, it's comfortable. Obviously, I've seen a lot of people complain about the kind of head shape, head size, but I mean, you know, you get used to it. You know, yes, the feel is a bit different at the beginning, but then, you know, it's pretty easy to play with it. So it's going to be A tier. Finally, we have Babolat. I like Babolat, you know, I like the pure drive, I like the aero, the pure strike, yes, a bit. I would have loved to like a bit more the pure strike because it would have been a perfect racket for me, but a bit too powerful, but you know, still a good racket. So I would go in the A tier. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna put a brand to the S tier and a brand to the D tier. So let's start with the D tier. For me, it's a no-brainer. It has to be Prince because, yeah, you know, they were so big, but now they're low. So yeah, Prince. And for the S tier, okay, so Technifiber is definitely not an S tier. Volkl, same thing. Babolat for me is not an S tier too, so it's going to be in between Yonex, Wilson, and Head. Head, like I said, too many choice. Wilson, like I said, I'm not a fan of the paradigm bending, but Yonex, I don't like the thing that they're doing with the purse at the V-core, and the E-zone is going to be clearer as the year is gonna go, but for the moment it's a bit weird. But I think we have to go with the popularity at the moment. Yonex is really at the top, so we're gonna put Yonex into the S tier. So that's it for the video. Hope you have liked it. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. And comment below your thoughts about my tier list. And you can also do your tier list in the comment section. I will obviously read it and reply. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.